Another classic from Bond Number 9. This is Bond Number 9's New Haarlem. This was released in 2003, but don't get that twisted because this is a banger, so I was told, right? I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm pretty excited about this fragrance. So I've been told that this is a very nice, gourmandish coffee-style fragrance, and if you didn't know, I love coffee-style fragrances, so I had to get this one to check it out. But you know what? It's a little bit unique. It's different than I was expecting when you think of a coffee fragrance. It's gourmand, but it's semi-gourmand, but it's pretty good. Let's get right into the sprays here. Here we go. I'm gonna do 3 of them right off. Let's do 4 even. Screw it. Screw it. Let's smell this. The first blast of this, I get this like really intense cedar note, like a cedar wood smell, but it goes away very quickly. And what you're left with is you get blasted in the face by like maple syrup, pancakes, and sausages. Sausages, I say. Did that sound a little bit weird? Because I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit weird. This fragrance right in the opening almost smells like, it smells like a 1990s like McDonald's breakfast. You ever had like the McDonald's pancakes with a little sausage, a little bit of like the orange juice? That's kind of what you get from the opening of this fragrance. In a good way though, in the best way possible. Not in like a weird way, I mean it's a little weird, but not too weird, but it's in a good smelling way, in a nostalgic way. It is a little bit warm, it's a little bit spicy too, and you know what, it's a little bit powdery. Now I do get coffee, but not a lot. It's like, I wouldn't say this is a coffee fragrance, it's very mild coffee. I get more lavender than I get coffee. I get more cinnamon too. It almost has like this like cinnamon butter vibe. So picture pancakes, a little bit of sausage with cinnamon butter drizzled on top, and maple. For some reason, maple is like a standout note to me. Lavender, maple, this is like a maple lavender mild coffee fragrance. It's warm, it's a little bit spicy, it's like a warm amber overall. So let's talk about this. Now, the dry down with this fragrance is where things get a little bit interesting to me personally. It gets very unique, and I haven't heard anybody else talk about what they think of this fragrance. I've heard people compare this to like Mugler's Pure Tonka, I believe, or like Roca Man, like the coffee Rochas, I don't know. But I get something different from this fragrance. Now here's what it is. When you do spray this the opening, you do get that maple smell, you get the pancake vibe, the breakfast smell is there. But as this starts to dry down, it gets a little bit powdery, which I like. I like powdery fragrances. Almost powdery, it's something like Da Vinci Pie, that type of powdery, that style. But there's a freshness in here that I don't hear talked about too often. Now the freshness that I get is patchouli. The patchouli in this fragrance comes out. The lavender, the patchouli come out in this fragrance, and then mix with that maple smell. Now, what does it smell like in the dry down to me? It's kind of similar to like a Drakkar Noir or Drakkar Intense, or even better yet, Roja's Apex. If you're familiar with Apex, which is similar to Drakkar Noir, that kind of a greenness, there's a greenness in here that's in the dry down. So it almost smells like a breakfasty, semi-gourmand maple fragrance if you mixed it with like a Drakkar Noir. It kind of like mixes in, and it sounds a little bit strange, I know, but it works. And it smells very regal and high class. You definitely get that powdery green freshness that's mixed in, and I feel like it keeps this from being too cloying or too overly sweet. You know, it's not like insane drip maple syrup pancakes all over you full gourmand. It goes there, but that greenness, that freshness, that patchouli and lavender pull it back just a little bit. And it makes it very like unique. I've never smelled a fragrance quite like this, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's in a breakfast category. I've had smelled other breakfast style fragrances that push it further. This one tames it just a little bit. Once again, up top, you get hit right in the face, slapped with cedar, goes away pretty quickly. It is a little bit woody overall, but the cedar goes away. It takes the back seat to that maple, vanilla pancake type smell with cinnamon butter on it. Like I said, I'm not getting too much coffee, but the overall vibe would include coffee. Coffee would be on the table. But then you get that freshness, that patchouli and lavender from almost like a weird Drakkar Noir vibe mixed into this, or like the Roja Apex mixed into this, that dryness. You know, it's a very calming fragrance because it does get powdery too, and I like powdery fragrance. It's very calming, it's very high class. I mean, do I love this fragrance? Honestly, I don't know yet, but I do like it. I like it a lot, and I've been wearing it a lot. I just don't know. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if it's like 10 out of 10, right? Uniqueness is there, but it's like such a strange fragrance. I feel like it's one that I'll grow to love a lot. I feel like with most Bond Number 9 fragrances, same with like New York Nights, right? New York Nights, I wasn't a fan right away. It had like the caramel banana bread smell. I let it sit and macerate, and now I absolutely love that fragrance, and I'm hoping that's what's gonna happen with New Haarlem from Bond number 9 as well. This is a unisex fragrance. I mean, most gourmands to me are, it's split right down the middle, but that dryness, that freshness, it leans it a little bit more masculine to me. I think a woman could pull this off, I really do, but it just feels a little bit more masculine, just a little bit. We gotta talk about one of the cons though, and I mean, it's obviously the price. If you're not familiar with Bond number 9, I mean, retails, this 100 ml bottle is about $360, and I don't know about you, but to me, that's pricey. You know, it's a pricey buy, it really is. You know, I've been wanting to get this for a couple of years now, I had to save up, and I'm not gonna lie, but what you can do is you can get samples of this fragrance. If you wanna get some decant samples, check out the Fragrance Channel Decants. I'm gonna show you a little special card here, check that out. See that QR code? You know, pause the video, bro. Pause the video, see if you can scan that, you know, use the bonus code, get 10%, or don't do it, I don't care, don't do it. But if you wanna check out samples of a very unique fragrance, go there, give it a whirl. I'll package you up a decant, 2 ml, send it to you, bro. Let me do one more. I wanna see if I get that cedar smell. Let's do 2, one on the mic. I always like a good mic spray. Yeah, so you get a cedar, the opening's a little bit harsh, I'm not gonna lie. Like the initial blast is a little harsh. You get this like cedar, this jarring cedar note, and it goes right into like the maple, and it's kind of like woody cedar to maple, and it's kind of weird. You're like, whoa. And then it turns into that like comforting, powdery pancake smell. The big draw to this is that dry down. Like that dry down gets powdery and comforting, and it's very like I said, high class smelling, and you get the maple smell, and you get the fresh greens come in here, like green leaves almost with a patchouli, and it just pulls this together. So the longevity on this was really good. I got 6+ hours of longevity. I could smell it all day. The problem is the projection. This turned into almost a skin scent after like 3 to 4 hours, which, like I said, this is a newish bottle, and with Bond number 9's New York Nights, I had to let that macerate, and then it turned into a beast. So I'm hoping letting this sit for a few weeks or a couple months will turn the projection into better. The first couple hours are really good, but after that, it kind of died down quickly. I feel like it tapered off pretty quick. That's a con for me, you know, for the price point of this, I want beast mode. If I'm gonna spend over $300, I don't care the style of smell. I get there's different variables in that, but I want beast mode for over $300. This is definitely office safe. This is date night safe if you got a date, you know, get some dates, you can wear this. I think it leans a little bit more, slightly more in cooler weather, maybe, but you could definitely wear this year round. I've been rocking it in the summer. It's not cloying at all. You know, it's really nice when it's light enough, and that powdery freshness keeps it from being like too gourmand, too heavy. So don't worry about that. You know, who would wear something like this? I don't know, like the Hamburglar? You know, the McDonald's Hamburglar, that's what I picture him smelling like. If he was gonna like come in your house and steal burgers and he left, I feel like you'd wake up and smell this. Yeah. You know, I kind of look like the Hamburglar almost. Maybe I'll be in for Halloween, who knows? I bet he didn't have a 6-pack though, bro. I bet he didn't have a 6-pack. There's something, I don't know what it is, there's something that gives me this like high class vibe. Like it smells like, it's like a vintage like jazz club from like the 20s or 30s. Like, I feel like it would smell like that, and like the piano players, like that's what he would be wearing, something like this. Or it's like the ballroom from The Shining, the movie The Shining, like that vintage ballroom. I feel like that's what that would smell like before everybody was murdered and slaughtered. But you know, you get my vibe, or like you're in a high class luxury hotel, or like you're on the Titanic and you're walking down the hall past the kitchen, there's a master chef making breakfast for everybody, and you just smell that smell. That's kind of the vibe that this gives. There's something vintage and classy about it. There is. There's something from that era, and it just speaks to me. And like I said, I really like it, and I like it so much, I'm gonna give it like a direct spray again. Fragrances to me, I like nostalgic vibes to them. That's the ones that speak to me. Yes, there's stuff that smells great, and you're gonna go to the club, and you're gonna slay it, bro, and you're gonna get chicks. There's fragrances for that, right? But usually I don't look for that, right? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a connection. I like stuff that makes me connect in my brain and go, this reminds me of a happy place, a happy time, right? Right, Ryan? A happy time. This does that to me. This kind of gives me the vibe. It's like, go back again, you know, early 90s, right? I'm an 80s baby, so early 90s, like my family's going to McDonald's on a Sunday or Saturday morning for breakfast. I'm sitting in the McDonald's, I'm like 5 years old, I'm eating my pancakes and sausage, my mom's cutting them, and my dad's next to me wearing Drakkar Noir, right? He's wearing like Drakkar, the original, or Drakkar Noir, And that smell is mixing with my syrupy pancakes. That's the vibe this gives me. That's the memory that this one triggers, and I like that. And for that, I'm gonna try to wear this more often. I wanna turn, like I said, I really like this. I wanna turn that like into a love. I really do, because it's a good one. It's very unique, and I've so far been impressed with most of the Bond number 9s that I've checked out. If you wanna see a review for Brooklyn, I'll put that up here. Also with New York Nights, I'll put that up there, this side. Whoa, wait, it's probably that side. And finally, the most important thing about this fragrance that you have to remember, if you wanna smell like the Hamburglar, I mean, come on, we all do, this is it. You're gonna slay it. Guy or girl, you'll slay it. You'll slay it. I'm gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna go slay it right now, actually. Who's gonna stop me, bro, you? Ow, my knee.